The myths you hear at the gun counter at the local gun store. Shall we? So, let's be real. Most gun stores are solid. Every now and again, you'll hear something at the counter that's not true, so let's clear up a few of these things. This gun is illegal in most states. You'll hear this one a lot, and yeah, that's illegal in most states, or you can't own that. Most of the time, it's not entirely accurate. Firearms laws vary a lot by state, but many guns people think are illegal are perfectly legal in places like North Carolina and many others. Sometimes it's confusion, sometimes it's outdated info, and sometimes it's just easier for a store to say you can't than explain the actual law. I can't preach for all states, but here in North Carolina, we don't have a gun list that says, hey, this gun's banned. You can't have this gun. I know some states do, and those lists are public information. Those states' departments of justice post those. But a gun that's banned in California has no bearing here in North Carolina. If you're planning to go to California, my advice has been to numerous people, including service members I have sold firearms to, leave the gun here. Leave the gun with somebody you trust, because I can't vouch for what California is going to fucking do. I can't vouch for what New York's going to do, or New Jersey, or Illinois. You need this to be legal. This gets pushed really, really hard. You need this accessory, this upgrade. You need this service to stay legal. In reality, a lot of the stuff is optional. To be fair, some things are legally required depending on the situation, but a lot of the time, what you're hearing is a recommendation being presented like a requirement. I'm going to tack something onto that as a gunsmith. You hear it all the time that, oh, you have a under 3-pound trigger. You're going to get raked over the coals if you use this gun in self-defense. While yes, there have been court cases and precedents established by that matter, there is no law banning it. And my general advice to people have been, if you can prove why you needed this, and you can articulate why you use it and why you need it, it's going to be a lot better. If you just have a 2.5 pound or a 1.5 pound trigger pull on your concealed carry because it's cool, yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to have fun in court. But if you go, hey, look, I got a 1.5 pound trigger pull on this gun. This is my carry gun. I also use the same style of pistol for defensive pistol competition with the same trigger. I use it, and here is all of my training, all of my practice, all of my experience that proves that I know what I'm doing, that proves that I'm responsible. It's going to be a lot harder for the other side to argue, yeah, he was just out looking for trouble. It's not impossible for them to argue by any means, but it gives you a benefit to be able to argue. Training is always a benefit in your defense. That's the only way to do it. This usually comes up with transfers here. This is the only way we can do it. No, it's not the only way. It's the way we choose to. And different FFLs will handle things differently within the bounds of the law. Fees, policies, processes can vary a lot. So you'll hear this with how they do 4473s. You'll hear this with how you've got to wait to pick up your gun. We don't do transfers. We have to wait 2 weeks before we do your transfer. But let me tell you this right now. At least in my experience, that's a load of bullshit. I can do my 4473s in paper, and I can do them electronically. Which way do I prefer as the gun store owner? I like electronically. It gives me a safety. It gives me a guarantee of an insurance policy. Do I have to wait 2 weeks for a firearms transfer? No. I've been known to do them the same day the gun comes in. Why? I'd rather just get it to the customer and get it out my door. It's logged in on my end. The minute it comes in, I log it in. If he wants to come get it that day, it's his. As long as he does his paperwork. A lot of those shops do it because they have multiple systems to account for variables. My system is me. Generally speaking, it's not required. It's their preference. But try to understand their position. They've found a system that works. They like their system that works. And that's it. Most bad info doesn't come from malice. It comes from outdated knowledge, misunderstanding of laws, or just simplifying things too much. But the result is the same. You walk away misinformed. And that's what we're here to fix. The buyer's advantage. If something sounds off, double check it. Look at your state law. Call another shop. Do a few minutes of research, and the difference between store policy and actual law is huge. Most gun stores are really awesome people. I've had a lot of good experiences with a lot of good stores. I myself am very well liked because I do this with my customers. I'll sit down and shoot straight with you what's being truthful and what's not. Here's a little bonus one for staying to the end. That $25 transfer fee or $50 or $100 or whatever it is where you live, that's not mandatory. That's pure profit for the business. It doesn't cost us anything to do a transfer. If they're doing paper 73s, you get those for pretty much free. I ordered a huge stack from the ATF and didn't pay a dime. You can order a 6-month supply at a time. In fact, the ATF encourages it. So, our paper documents are free. The shipping from the gun to come to us is free. We don't pay that. We don't pay anything for the gun. Now, indirect costs are your employees, your building, your rent, the space the gun takes up, all of the indirect costs. For me, my direct cost to do one transfer. So if you guys have any gun myths that you want me to discuss, send them to me in the comments, and I will try to make a video on them. Thanks for coming out, guys.